Bryan Adams is back in Victoria. Welcome back, Bryan Adams. The man behind the drum kit is a very good friend of ours. Pat Steward is here. Welcome back to you as well, Pat.
It's good to be back, Scott. It's good to be back in Victoria, and always good to come by the queue.
You had some London fun. I seem to recall you and the band doing a Kiss song on the roof of the Royal Albert Hall. Is that right?
Oh, you're exactly right. Except the writers of said Kiss song are Jim Vallance and Bryan Adams.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was part of a multiple steps, I guess, lately of Bryan's taking ownership of all of his music now. It completely owns it.
Right.
And he started a label called Bad Records.
Bad Records.
Yeah, and so for a while last year, we were just playing that song every night. It was fun.
Yeah.
And Bryan's playing a lot of bass, so he got to, it was fun. We got to do this thing and created some fun stuff for Keith Scott for these guitar solo moments. And
that was a residency at the theater,
is that
right?
the song we did on the roof? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Can't keep track.
Yeah. So there were a number of shows at the Royal Albert. That must have been kind of a high point in your career.
We've done two of those, and the first one was in 2022, shortly after I came back into the band, and it's all available on Spotify and all the streaming now. But in the first year that we did 3 nights at the Royal Albert Hall, and the first night was we would play a classic album. So we played Cuts Like a Knife, top to bottom, and then we take a little break and we come back out and do almost our regular 2-hour set and play anything that wasn't our regular show. But if the song Cuts Like a Knife is in a set, then we didn't play it, kind of thing. And then the next night we did the album Into the Fire, and same thing, take a break and do the show. And then we did Waking Up the Neighbors. And then a couple years later we did it again in 2024, and we did Reckless, which was super cool. That thing sold out fast, that show. And then we did the album 18 Till I Die, and we did at that time the latest album, So Happy It Hurts. And a couple songs we had a gospel choir, which was amazing.
Oh, nice.
And it's all out there. It's on streaming, and some of it is on YouTube on Bryan's channel. But there's a box set that you can buy of vinyl or CD, and whatever DVD. Because then I have to go out and buy a player because I got rid of my DVD player. But so you can watch it all too. But it was a lot of work, but it was so fun. It was amazing.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Roll with the Punches. I see there's another drummer on that album.
Yeah.
His name is Bryan Adams.
Yeah. He's kind of always played drums.
Has he?
Yeah. I mean, when we got going into something a couple of years ago, he goes, that was my first instrument, right? I said, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he was telling a story recently in a little run of shows we did in England about how his dad, basically, he wanted to play drums and he was like 11. And his dad, to thwart that idea, bought him a classical guitar. And, and his dad loved that kind of music, and he's a classics guy. And Bryan, gets his guitar. Well, thank you very much. That's a nice gift. And he said it took him a few days, and then he started noodling around on it and realized, you know what? I kind of like this. So he ultimately stayed with guitar, but along the way, different things. I don't know if he ever had a period where he played drums in a band, but he's got drums. He's got a couple of sets. One home here and one in his studio in Vancouver. He's got a kid up there. So I think lately, I think his thoughts are that if I can't do it, then I'll call Pat. So, which is fine. I love playing, recording songs. I love playing in the studio, and any opportunity, I'm always down for it. Mm-hmm. We did do a couple on the new record. One's called "Make Up Your Mind," which is it's a can you say ass? Can you say it's an ass kicker?
Of course.
Every night, like I look at the schedule and before we go up, and this last couple of weeks has been just pretty jet laggy.
Yep.
And so I look at it and I go, okay, get that in my state. We're going to do all these songs, and then we're going to play Make Up Your Mind. At least I'm warmed up by then. But Make Up Your Mind is it's a kind of a tip of the hat to Keith Moon. And, you don't approach that stuff lightly. And I was pretty excited when he sent me a demo and used some sort of, AI technology to, I believe it was the song Going Mobile by The Who.
Right.
And he just had the drum track and kind of cut it up a bit to fit the form of the song that he was writing. So he sent me this thing, and I'm listening to it, and I'm going, oh my God, this is Going Mobile. This is amazing. And the sound of Keith Moon's drums and everything in there. And it's just all about that spirit, And I've always been a fan of that. And even in the odds, where there's always a bit of that in the room. And I think the only other person I know, besides Zach Starr, but who I don't know, but the other person I know is the great Andrew Scott from Sloan. I love that guy. I love his playing. And he's always got a little bit of Keith Moon in his playing too, It's out there, it's available, but nobody wants to take it. So I'll take it.
I was about to say, who's your admired drummer, or was your admired drummer, but I guess you answered the question there.
You mean favorites?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Keith Moon, we had at some of those records growing up, Who Live at Leeds is probably my favorite, but Who's Next too, we had that one. And, you can't, it's like, how do you have a top five? You can't have a top five. Because if you didn't say Stuart Copeland, but you said John Bonham, but there you go. Those two guys for me, and Keith Moon. It's kind of all English guys,
Yep.
The guy that really got me going on it all was Simon Kirke from Bad Company.
Oh, yeah.
But even then, you realize, but for 3 years before that, we had All Right Now was on the radio. I was like 8 years old or something. I used to hear that, and I thought it was just the coolest, So, yeah, there's so many drummers.
Put me down for Jeff Porcaro.
And Jeff Porcaro. Yeah. And Steve Jordan.
Yeah.
And
it's endless.
Yeah.
How did you like working with Mutt Lange?
Well, I didn't actually get to. But
oh, really?
Yeah. Keith and Bryan did, and who knows, between the two of them, who spent the more hours, probably Bryan, but Keith Scott, our guitar player, he talks about it a lot, about the hours sitting with Mutt when they made Waking Up the Neighbors, and Mutt would get these ideas, and he would he'd hum it or sometimes whistle, because it was a high note. He goes, "Hey, try this," and it's the outro or it's the solo of some song, like maybe Everything I Do or something like that. So, between the two of them, they would craft these amazing solos and melodies and stuff.
How about Jeff Lynne? Did you get to work with him?
I haven't. No. I really only with Bryan. I worked with Bob Clearmountain on the Reckless album, which was incredible. Bob's just still doing amazing work, and he was before Reckless. He's an incredible engineer, and I mean those records were co-produced. It was always sort of Adams and Valance and Clearmountain. And so I got to work with them a bit. We worked a bit on the Into the Fire album after Reckless, but some things changed, and somebody who Bryan wanted became available. So Mickey Curry was in, and I was out. But I did get to work. I got to work with Clearmountain a bit on that one too, and I've done a lot of stuff, a lot of recording over the years, and the other big name that I got to work with was when I did some Matthew Good records, and that's Warren Livesey, and just wonderful, wonderful guy. He did Matt records. He's done some 5440. Those guys just went over to somewhere in Portugal. They went to Porto, and holed up in some little studio that had amazing equipment, and they made. So whenever their new record's coming out, I want to hear that, and that's with Warren. So, as a musician, if the opportunity comes up and they go, you're going to, hey, like I was shopping at Mountain Co-op or something, and Matt Good, he said, Warren's going to call you today. And I'm like, okay. So I'm in the store and I'm like, I can't go to the back of the store because there's no phone service. Now, I'm walking around in the front, and I'm a fan of Warren Livesey because of Midnight Oil, Diesel and Dust, and Blue Sky Mining. At that time, he did a couple more recently, but such a fan of that band and all the playing, and Rob Hurst, the drummer. And so I'm going to get to work. I'm going to have a conversation in Mount Co-op with the guy who made those records. So that's kind of blowing my mind.
Wow.
And then we made a couple of records together, and it was always super fun. And, Matt has always got his stuff organized. And when you show up and everything's organized, Bryan, of course, too. Excuse me. But when everything's organized, it's just great because you could just show up and do what you're there to do.
Yep.
Sometimes people are, I'm not quite sure about this one. They got 2-3 songs and maybe one of them's organized and the other ones aren't. Then it's just like, it can be okay. It can be jammy and it might be great. But sometimes it's like, it's best if there's a plan and you know what to do. Because then you can just show up and play drums, play a bunch of takes, and then move on to the next song, because that's basically what you do.
It's good to be prepared in radio, too, I've found out.
Yeah, lots of jobs.
Yeah. Are you still an odds guy?
I'm too busy.
Yeah.
So I've had to sort of, I just had to bow out, Mm-hmm. I did one show. We've been touring in 2022 after that Royal Albert Hall and all that, and I came back and we did we had a sort of headline night at the Philberg Festival in Comox, right around the corner from where I once lived when I was in grade 9. And so we did a show and we played a bunch of stuff off the upcoming new record at the time, Crash the Time Machine. And that was the last time I could do it,
Mm.
I've had a couple where I come back and there, in hindsight, I realized I don't want to come back, be completely wasted on another time zone in your body, and then get in a plane and fly to Toronto and get in a van and go do a couple of shows. I just, I couldn't do it. It's too much. I've always said yeah to everything and make it work, but saying yeah to a commitment like Bryan Adams is it's massive.
Yep.
So, my good friend Gary Bright is the keyboard player, and he said, yeah, you watch, you'll slowly start having to unplug from all those things that you've been doing for, I've been doing my own thing for like 35 years since, or whatever, however it's been, since the end of Reckless, almost 40 years. But, just being your own guy, and and plenty of people I know in Victoria, same thing. You're just your own manager, you're your own social media, and you have to do all of that, and you make the phone calls, and and you're the drummer and you're the drum tech, and you just do it all, or guitar, whatever.
You know what? If you want stuff done right, do it yourself.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Say hi to Craig and Doug and Murray for us, and tell.
Let's just say hi to the odds on air right now.
We miss them.
And the great Kurt Dahl from is playing drums with them now, and we know Kurt Dahl from Age of Electric, and then Limb Lifter, and then the New Pornographers. He did a handful of the first bunch of records, and he's a pal and a great player.
I looked at Wikipedia just to see what's new with odds, and lo and behold, their picture on Wikipedia is the one I shot of you guys playing at Mount Washington. How about that? I'm famous.
I think you sent me a photo from that the other day.
Yeah.
We had some really good fun playing those like New Year's Eve or something.
Yeah.
At the ski hill.
You were on Reckless. Big album, one of the biggest albums. Then you went and worked with a million other people.
Yeah.
And what brought you back to Bryanville?
A phone call. I mean, you know what? COVID changed a lot of things in the world, and a lot of people. For Mickey Curry, he was home for 2 years. That guy's a veteran. He's a legend. He's been on the road since before I started. Probably 40 years of touring with various acts, mainly Hall & Oates, I think, and then Bryan, but lots and lots of recordings and things. So I think after being home for 2 years and he's with his wife, and he's going, well, first of all, I don't want to go. Bryan was like, as soon as there was somewhere to play, he wanted to go play, and that was Las Vegas. I don't think Las Vegas, I think you weren't allowed to go there if you'd been vaxxed.
Oh.
I say jokingly, but they didn't really close or anything, right? So, but anyway, so our residency came up, and I got a phone call, and it's like, "Are you interested and are you available to go do this?" I went. This was in November of 21. I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And so, so we did that, and then we almost did a big New Year's thing, which would have, but there was a big surge of COVID cases, and you know, the BC government medical Bonnie Henry, but whatever that arm is, they kind of went, okay, we got to shut this. We're shutting down group gatherings. Like, it was slowly building, and then that would have been New Year's Eve of 21. Is that how that goes? Yeah. I should know after.
Rockdown, as we called it.
What do you call it?
Rockdown.
Rockdown. There was a rockdown.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. Then we waited, and then at the end of January of 22, we started up. You know, so since then I've been doing it, and yeah, there was, you know, Mickey was like, I think he was at home going, well, I don't really want to go out. Some people just didn't want to go out, and because of the masking and because of the unknowns, and that's fine, you know.
Yeah.
There's still, and some people have things going on with their health, right? I still see masks here and there, and I mean, it makes sense. It's a smart thing. If you have a cold and you're going to work, wear a mask. Why didn't we know that 50 years ago or something, you know?
Kind of makes sense.
It completely makes sense. So anyway, so he was like, you know, quietly passed the torch, I guess, you know. So, and I've always enjoyed playing with Bryan. I love the music, and you know, he and I have kind of a matched energy, and you know, I'm excited to be doing it. So, you know, when I showed up in 2022, I'm always channeling my inner 22-year-old self, which is exhausting. I'm trying to keep up to myself.
I'm glad you're living the dream.
I'm living a dream. Yeah.
All right, I'm probably going to run out of breath here. You played with David Gogo on a couple of albums, Leroy Stagger, another good boy back in Langford.
Hi, Leroy.
Payolas, Doug and the Slugs, Matthew Good, Colin James. Who have you? Jan Arden. Who have you not played with who you would like to play with?
Oh, wow. Somebody asked me that recently. And I had a really great answer, and I can't think of anything at the moment. There's probably some
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Maybe not.
You know what? I barely even know the music. I'm happy. I love what's going on. I love what she's doing, and her husband is, or fiance, whatever it is. That guy's he's a good dude and funny. Somebody talked about this the other day. A cousin of mine. I mean, wow! It would be amazing to play with Coldplay because they have such great songs. You know, anywhere where there's great songs. You know.
Their Vancouver concert in the long ago before times, one of the got to be in my top three, absolutely. Yeah,
Bryan went and saw them in they're doing 10 nights at Wembley Stadium, which is the most that anyone's done. Taylor was there last year and she did 8, but they did, and it's 10. It's 80,000 people a night.
Yeah,
and Bryan went and saw one of the shows, and then the next day we started those club dates we were talking about, and we're going, how was it? He's just like epic.
Yeah.
You know.
Did they invite him on stage?
I don't think so.
Why not?
When he was in Vancouver a couple of years ago, or when they had him up, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For something. I don't know. I'm such a fan of those first 2 records. We started talking about it all last week, you know, in the dressing room and you know, in my place. I mean, of course, Yellow and Clocks, all that. But even there's other stuff on there where it's just, it's almost like old Wilco or something. It's just acoustic guitar, drums, and great singing. You know.
Did you take drum lessons? Formal drum lessons?
A bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their drummer didn't, apparently.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I looked it up, and I have this article. I haven't finished reading it. I've had it open. You know how you have like not 90, but I usually have about 50 pages open on my phone, on my browser. I forget the gentleman's name. I just looked it up. You know, it's like who engineered the first Coldplay record, and it's a really interesting story because he's just some young guy, and somebody said, "Hey, there's this young group. A friend of mine's doing some work with them. Brought them in, and they made that record." Because I listened to it and I go, they're so young. They're like 20 or something when they made that. And I always thought there had to have been a really smart producer in there because no drummer at 20 plays like you're 40 and really minimal, you know, and all the playing on on those records, all the, you know, not only the drums, the guitar, all the parts, is just so well thought out. It's just smart.
There's a reason they are where they are today.
Yeah.
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 Do you have a sound check today?
Yeah. Soon.
Sound check on every show, every single show.
Usually.
Yeah.
You know, we'll just do something. I mean, sometimes we'll go up and just, Keith will just start jamming. If it's not, you know, Machine Head era Richie Blackmore, it might be some Zeppelin or some Hendrix, you know, and we just kind of fall in, or he and I do, and if Brian's there, sometimes he knows it, or else Brian loves to come up and just start playing Beatles songs, which is great. And then, just like when I used to play clubs, you finish playing it, you go, I gotta go listen to that and find out what the exact part is, or you know, whatever, because Ringo, that's the number one on my pile.
Right.
I said Bonham, so I forgot everything. But
well, we love you. We're glad you're here. We love the record. We look forward to more, and we hope the rest of the tour goes well for you.
Thanks very much. Yeah, we're just starting it, in a sense. We don't seem to ever stop, but we just finished that record, and now we're starting the tour of this record. So it's fun. I'm having a great time. So thanks for having me, Scott.
Carry on rocking.
Keep on rocking in the free world.
This is the Islands Rock.